now on podcast. I love that we are. It's a podcast. Also Mental Health News Radio Network. And now back on internet, which is so fabulous. So I want to share a story with all of you. It is, as you know, and if you've been listening to the Frankie Boyer Show, it's been a very, very difficult few years for me on every front imaginable, and every front. And I started working with Kathleen from the wonderful Kathleen Beerkens from the Netherlands. And she said, you need the zone. That's what you need. You need zone healing, because my hip was starting to bother me, and I had stopped doing my arms a long time ago because of my pain in my arm. And so I value Kathleen Beerkens so much. And I listen to what she says because she's so knowledgeable. And by the way, she was the first one to tell me about the glucans that we need in our diet, the polysaccharides that Dr. Lewis has talked about. He spent 20 years of his life studying them, and she also knew about them 20 years ago. And it's the reason I just saw a picture of her when she was in New York at her son's wedding. I saw the picture. She looks like she's 30 years younger than what she really is, because she's been taking polysaccharides and glucans for years, for 20 years now. And so when she says something, I'm listening, because I've learned from doing this radio show that there are people out there that know more than I do. And I want to hear what they have to say and how they can help me in my life and all of you. And that's the whole goal of the Frankie Boyer Show. And so she was very, very frank with me and said, I'm going to find you someone. And I hemmed and hawed, no, I'm finding you someone. And sure enough, it's Dr. Dr. Goyette and Amesbury. And she's the zone. She is it. She is the perfect zone health practitioner in our area. How fortunate for us. And my arm was really sore, and my hip. Well, after a few sessions, everything changed. I mean, everything changed. That's why can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Can you hear me, Chick? Okay, good. That's why my arm, good, because it burped out in the middle of my saying about my arm. I do my arms, and now they've recovered, and they're looking like real arms again instead of old lady arms. My hip, what hip issue? Very, very little, if any, residual. This is just in a few months. I am so grateful for the transformation, but there is something that happened along the way, and that something is called getting my chi back, getting my energy back, getting my vibrancy back. My vibrancy had been dormant, and I wasn't aware of it. I was not aware that my vibrancy was gone. I was not aware of it. It happened in spite of me. And we get tired from putting out the fires all day long and the stresses. And we don't realize the toll that it takes on every part of our being. And so I am so thrilled to share with you how this work with using the zone technique has changed my life. And it may just change your life as well. And the glandular health piece alone, sleep. Listen to the things that can change. And Dr. G, I'm sorry, I'm just talking so much, but I was thinking about this with my arms and how excited I am that I'm able to do my arm routine stronger, better than I've ever done them, and it's showing in my arms today.
Excellent. And it's only going to get better. The more you do that, the better it gets. And I love what you even
Yes.
said about hip pain. What hip pain, right? And soon that even
Exactly.
little trace that you had is already moving off, and it would be a distant memory if somebody came up to you and asked you if you had any hip issues. You'd be like, I don't even know what you're talking about. So I love
My arm
the way
pain
you
is
already
my arm pain is totally gone. Totally gone. I don't even I realized the other day, I said, "Oh my God, I haven't had arm pain and I can't remember when." How fabulous is that? But so one of the zones is the first zone, and it's the glandular. So it helps with sleep, ovaries, digestion, temper, adrenals, thyroid gland, stomach, hair, uterus, skin, energy, appetite, memory, prostate, men, relaxation, concentration, pelvis, kidneys. Imagine all of that in just zone 1. Can you imagine? There are 6 zones. Do you get the point that each one of the zones is going to give you, it's not just about the physical, even though this is important. It's about the attitude. It's about the energy. It's about the chi. You know, you may not have any physical, and God bless you, physical issues. But what about the energy? What about your chi? What about I had a friend who said, I don't have any hope. I said, you've got to come with me to zone. You have to do zone healing. You have to, because it will give you back hope. No one should be hopeless. She's fighting a very tough, very rare strain of cancer, and they've tried every treatment, and she's at the end of the road. Everyone deserves the chance to have hope, because it's that peace that takes you to where you need to go. And Dr. G, talk a little bit about how the perfect zone restores the body in every way, mentally as well.
Great. Well, you were just mentioning one of the 6 zones, and from a zone perspective, the body is only made up of 6 systems, and every single part of you is in one of more of those 6 systems. And so you mentioned the glandular system. That is a part of the body that you have organs called glands, and they're releasing chemicals called hormones. And that's the way your body talks to your cells to tell them to do things, is chemically as well as neurologically. There might be a nerve signals. So when you're rattling off the list of things that are being affected in the perfect glandular health, it's talking about the organs that are releasing certain chemicals that impact different functions in the body. So from a physical standpoint, every single cell, tissue, and organ in your body is in 1 or 6 categories. It's either a gland that you mentioned a few of them, like your thyroid gland, your adrenal glands, your prostate gland. Those are all glands that are releasing chemicals. There's a part of your body that has organs that are responsible for pushing waste and byproduct and debris and toxins off your system. So all those eliminative organs are looking to clean up the internal environment to keep you healthy. You have nerves in the nervous system so that you can perceive your world. You can interpret information and adapt and respond. It's running all your automatic functions, the things that you're not thinking about. It's the nerve signals to fire the muscle so that the muscles can move. It is the sensory part of the nervous system, so when somebody's touching you or you're feeling things, you have sensation to it. You have a digestive system and organs literally designed to, when you eat your foods, you're breaking those foods down into energy. You're breaking those foods into the substrate to turn that food into strong, healthy bones and muscles and hair and skin and nails. You have the physical part of your body that is the structure that you were talking about. So the bones and the muscles and the ligaments and the tendons and the way you move and your strength and your flexibility, your coordination. And then there's a part of your body that's responsible for making sure there's fluids moving through your body. So you're lubricating your joints, you're protecting things, you're getting nutrition to areas of your body via the blood vessels. You're pulling waste away through the lymph and the veins to be eliminated from your body. So every single part of you is in one or more of those systems, okay? And functionally, there's a part of your brain that's going to primarily run these organs and make sure they're healthy and make sure they're sending appropriate signals to the organs they're controlling. So when they're balanced, and that is your default state, balance and being able to do those things properly, you are healthy. You're manifesting a physical body that's healthy from a structural standpoint, to a chemical standpoint, to an emotional standpoint, to being able to do your everyday things as simple as sleeping, enjoying life, and walking and being engaged, being able to think clearly and learn and grow.
Yes. And for me, it was dealing with some things that I didn't want to have to deal with in my life. I just didn't want to have to. And so now I am dealing with them face on, and 3 or 4 different areas of my life are being resolved right now in spite of me. You know, it's like I just didn't want those things, and I, you know, it's like, oh, I don't want to deal with it. I'm getting everything dealt with today. And I'm up for the challenge. And if you could all understand how powerful that is, it didn't just happen. I am being healed, totally healed. And you can as well. I'm telling you, this is a game changer. This health zone chiropractic work is a game changer. It's marketsquarechiro.com, marketsquarechiro.com, 978-834-6056. That's 978-834-6056. We will continue with Dr. G in just a moment, but know that there is hope. Don't lose hope, and don't be a victim. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Frankie Boyer.
Kids don't just bring home homework, they bring home germs. And those germs don't just stay with them, they spread to the whole household. That's why Clear Nasal Spray was created by a practicing physician to give parents and grandparents peace of mind. You may not think about it, but your nose is filtering out a semi-truck full of air every single day. Clear isn't just another spray. It creates an additional layer of protection in your nose that blocks bacteria and viruses before they can even take hold. Yes, even that virus. Supporting your body's defenses right where germs first try to enter. Clear is a hygiene product recommended for daily use, drug-free, non-drowsy, and safe for all ages. Just a quick spray in the morning and evening helps you cleanse your nose. Don't just hope for protection, create it. Get Clear Nasal Spray, your daily defense. Clear Nasal Spray is available at retailers nationwide and online. Check out Clear.com for our special offers. That's XLEAR.com.
What if everything you've been told about aging is wrong? That your body is supposed to break down? That pain, fatigue, and illness are just part of getting older? What if that's a myth? The truth is your body was designed for health, vitality, and longevity. At Health Zone Chiropractic, they don't chase symptoms. They restore your body back to its default state of health using the powerful zone technique. They help your body function the way it was meant to. Imagine waking up with energy, staying sharp and productive at work, being fully present with your family, and saying yes to dinners, events, and activities without hesitation. This isn't about getting by. It's about thriving and well into your later years. Health Zone Chiropractic. Don't accept decline as normal. Unlock your body's full potential. Check out the website, marketsquarechiro.com, marketsquarechiro.com, or schedule an appointment at 978-834-6056.
Have you noticed past the age of 30 your energy level, mood, skin, and body has changed, and maybe not for the better? It may have to do with DHEA levels. DHEA is an important building block for more than 50 different hormones, and the body naturally produces DHEA. We make the most DHEA in our prime between the ages of 18 to 25. DHEA levels decline each year in men and women after about age 30. Research has established that maintaining healthy DHEA levels may help us feel more energetic, help reduce belly fat, and help us get a better night's sleep. Often, youthful levels of DHEA are tied to good health, while declining levels can contribute to an assortment of common health problems. Twist 25 is a high-quality DHEA supplement cream that absorbs easily into the skin, leaving no odor or oily residue. To learn more, visit twist25.com or call toll-free 888-489-4782. Look and feel your best with Twist 25, 888-489-4782.
Frankie Boyer.
And welcome back. And I welcome one of the top healers in our area, Dr. Goyette from Health Zone Chiropractic, doing something that is extraordinary. Dr. Goyette will determine which of your zones is out of balance. You may think you're in balance, but you're not. Trust me, you're not. If you've lived in this world, you're not in balance. And it's true, doctor. No one is in balance unless they're doing this work, in my opinion. You're really not in balance. You may think you are, but you're not. And this technique is very specialized, and she was trained in this. This is not just, I'm going to do this to your body. This is a very, very specific training and ongoing training that happens with a few practitioners around the country and around the world that practice the zone technique. And I want to talk about mood for just a moment, because one of the things that has been happening for me is that there is hope in my heart today. I am dealing with some really tough, obnoxious situations, now some legal stuff. I'm dealing with a mess right now that I am able to deal with. I'm able to deal with it because I have the stamina and my head is in a good place. But more importantly, this is really critical to this conversation. You're not lacking good mood in your body. What you need is to be balanced. And once your body becomes balanced, then what happens is that everything becomes magical then. And the body becomes the full-on orchestra, doctor. The full-on orchestra that plays the tune that you want to hear. And that balancing act is critical. It is critical to the work that you do and how you balance the body and restore the body. But more importantly, the mood changes. So get off with help, the mood enhancers, and start working with zone technology, and you will see the difference. And I really believe that, Dr. G.
Well, I'm glad you are circling back, because you mentioned something a little earlier in the segment that you glimpsed over that was super important. And so I'm glad you're kind of circling back to this point, which is, first, I want people to realize is that your natural state is balance. Okay, so it is actually easier for you staying in your natural states of balance than it was for you to actually get out of balance or fall out of balance. So yes, there are things that happen in your life that can be very stressful, that can trigger things to get you out of balance. However, your natural state is balance. And the more balanced you are, the better you can navigate these things, and you can take on more in your life. So, you know, people will say, well, yeah, but I got a lot of stress in your life. You're not trying to eliminate stress. You're not trying to eliminate challenges. You just stated it. You still have things going on in your world, But now you're able to manage these. You're staying in that relaxed state. You're able to adapt and navigate because you can perceive what's going on. You can interpret information. You have the appropriate mindset around it, and you can just do what you need to do to get through it. And you made a super, super important point earlier, which was, you had lots going on, and what was happening on the mental part was so disturbed, it was actually manifesting on your physical part. And that is exactly what people are noticing, that their physical ailments, and some people it might be hip pain or neck pain, or in other people it could be digestive issues, or it could be sleep issues, or it could be mood issues. It affects everyone differently on a physical level, but it all roots down to how did the system get out of balance, which often is because they're upset about something. From an emotional standpoint, they're handling something that is triggering an imbalance on one or more of those 6 systems. And just how it manifests physically on the body is different for everybody. But once you reset the system, you get the brain able to monitor the organs, they're able to do their job, and that includes the chemistry of your brain that is keeping your emotions stable, that is allowing you to handle stress. So part of getting you balanced is making sure you can adapt to stress appropriately, that you can think clearly, that you can focus, that you can navigate through life and stay in your natural state of calm. And then you can take on more. Stress is good for you when you can handle it, because you grow from that.
When you can, that's exactly right. Exactly. What did they, if it's not uncomfortable, is it worth it? You sometimes have to get a little uncomfortable, and you look at rain, it's uncomfortable at times, but look what happens, that gorgeous rainbow. It wouldn't happen if we didn't have rain. So life has thrown a lot of us at this stage, and we've taken that pill. We've swallowed the pill that says it's natural part of aging. No, it doesn't have to be the natural part of aging, as Dr. G is sharing with us. You don't need to be decrepit. Dr. G works with babies, with little kids with this technology. People would say, well, why
I
did
was just
kids...
going to say that with you, Frankie. Like, you're talking about aging because I know that is important to you. You talk about having longevity and quality of life well into your upper years. But unfortunately today, many of my children coming in here to this office, the kids are coming in today with primary things of what we're calling ADHD and having difficulty learning and having difficulty sitting still and focusing, and they can't sleep, and they have asthma, and they have skin issues, and they have digestive issues. And these kids are coming in with all sorts of things, and a lot of it has to relate around to their emotions and having all different depression, anxiety, things like this. And the reality is, when we get their system regulating appropriately, they're now able to have the appropriate emotion at the appropriate time. And should they feel sad for whatever reason, it's because something sad's happening, they can navigate through that and they move through it. And, so often today we're just told, you got to go through life being happy every moment, every second. No, you have an array of emotions to give you feedback about your world and your environment and choices you're making. And we're neglecting to teach people how to tap into the emotion and feel the emotion and then move through the emotion. So you want to have appropriate emotions at the appropriate time and navigate through those.
Love that. I love that. So as we grow from childhood to and you have clients that are how old, from babies up to 90s?
Yes. I mean, you can be adjusted as right out of the womb. I mean, I've had infants right when they came home, coming in to get checked, and right up. I think my oldest patient right now happens to be, 87. I think is my oldest patient right now. Although I've had patients in the 90s.
So, marketsquarechiro.com, marketsquarechiro.com, 978-834-6056. That's 978-834-6056. If anyone wants to go with me, and I know that one of my listeners is coming with me this Saturday, but if you want to come as a group, come on. I am not kidding. I'm more than willing to drive.
Frankie leaving.
I'll bring the bus with me. We'll just all go up onto Amesbury. I love the drive there. It's just a really neat place, and it's just a lovely little town. But my point, though, is that this zone, give the zone a chance. This is I know it's new. It's a new concept. It's new everything. And you're not hearing about it in the news. But instead of the antidepressant, give Perfect Zone Health a chance. Go to the website marketsquarechiro.com. Call 978-834-6056. And if you want to come with me one of these days, just call me at 508-878-1782. That's my cell, and you're more than welcome to come on up and check it out and see for yourself what a couple of sessions of the zone will do for you. Thank you, Dr. G, and thank all of you. This has been another edition of the Frankie Boyer Show. Thanks for listening. Make it a great day, and as always, smile.